Welcome back to On Spirit Time with Venus. I wanted to talk about my experience with trying to get a hold of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. These last, I don't know what, probably these last 4 months or so. I started trying to get a hold of her towards the end of October, and then I stopped, I think, sometime in March, maybe the end of February, I'm not sure. I just felt like maybe that's what she wanted me to do, because I felt like I was too neutral for her liking. But the thing is like, I felt like I wasn't really hearing anything confirming, like, for sure, like, he had something to do with it, so I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I understood that it could possibly be framed, and, I was worried, like, because I always remember, like, what made her so special, to the point where she's that young, and he wants to be with her and have her live out there and stuff. Like, I was wondering if they really did love each other. I'm not saying they should be living together or anything like that. He needs to wait for her of age, but, I don't know. Like, I wasn't sure what to think of it, and something happened to her while he was gone on tour or something, but, as time went on and I was, like, talking to her spirit, it didn't seem to be that way, because it seemed like to be right out the get-go. I hear her saying David's name like a bazillion times, and I'm like, okay, well, what about him? And, some of the feedback I was hearing, and this is the spirit box, so this is a disclaimer, okay? Like, I'm trying to hear something from it. And sometimes stuff seems like, it is confirming it is the spirit, and I don't know if it's coincidental. Like, I'm still trying to prove of their existence, trying to prove I've talked to them. It's still a work in progress. So if I'm misinterpreting something and or whatever, I don't mean to. Like, I'm not trying to I'm trying to see if this stuff's real. So I can't even remember where I was at. So I start contacting her, and I hear her saying David's name like crazy, and I start asking her, what about him? And I would hear some stuff like, he's part of it, I'm disappointed, and something about costing me, and there's been times I've heard traitor, I've heard her say her mom's name, and one time I asked her, because she said it like 3 or 4 times, like mama, or mom, or mother, it'd be some form of mom, while I was trying to talk to her. And one time, I asked her, I said, well, is there anything you want to say to your mom? And she's like, David. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I'm trying so hard to believe he might not have anything to do with it, but it just seemed like maybe he did, because of the feedback I was hearing from it. Like, you would hear his name like crazy, and then you would hear a bunch of negative things. It wasn't anything positive. It wasn't like, I love him, I miss him, blah, blah, blah. Mi corazón. No. It was like the traitor, the blah, blah, blah. And when they were saying that they think someone else had something to do with it, I tried asking that. Didn't really get any answers about that. Then I remember this one particular time, I thought I saw like a shadow, figure like go towards my daughter's room. And it was like it kind of peeked around the corner a little bit, and I thought I could see like a little bit of curly hair, kind of, just like the image of a shadow curl hair or something. Like, but like I only seen it for like a couple seconds. It's like when you see stuff like that, it's just like you see it out of your peripheral, you'll see it, and then you look back and it'll be gone. But earlier my husband was saying he was seeing things moving around, and I seen things moving around, so I decided to ask, and I wasn't sure who was going to come through. But, I'm sitting there waiting, and it took about 10-15 minutes, and all of a sudden I hear Celeste. I'm like, oh. And I'm like, if this is really Celeste, who hurt you? And she said, David. And it sounded all weird, like it sounded like the voice got all distorted weird, but it said David. And then I didn't say anything, and then all of a sudden it like just said on its own, it said Bluebird, which I associate with Bluebird Ave. And then, I don't know, maybe a little bit later it said Esmeralda. And then after that, I lost her, or I felt like I lost her, so I'm like, oh shit, well, that was like probably the best confirming stuff I've heard. So then, fast forward to New Year's Eve, and I'm in the kitchen, and I see this orb go by me through my peripheral vision. And I didn't feel threatened by it or anything, and I thought maybe it was Celeste, so I go to the room, and I sit down, and I'm thinking about, I was going to turn on my spirit box, but I don't think I'd done it yet, and all of a sudden, the same orb I seen in the kitchen was all of a sudden in my room, and it come flying right up on me, right close to my face, to the point where I jumped out of the way because I felt like it was going to go through me. I didn't know if it was like trying to be threatening or what it was doing, or trying to get my attention, but it freaked me out because I didn't know how to interpret it. And so I don't think I used the spirit box. I think I was pretty freaked out for a minute. I've been starting to get freaked out about being in this room. And, I remember at some point in time, I heard Punta, and I didn't know if it was directed at me. So I was trying to ask questions, who is that about? And then I heard Astabi, and I'm like, no, it's not okay. If I'm doing something, I want to know. And then I heard Kayade, which means shut up. And then I heard Jonathan, so I don't know. And then, at some point in time, because I wasn't getting as clear answers as I wanted from the spirit sessions, I decided I would start listening to David's music and see if I can get a clear clue as into, do I feel like he did it? Like, try to get inside his mind, all this other stuff. Well, I end up liking it and connecting with him through his music. And I can understand why he rose to stardom that fast, and why he's working with big people like Kali Uchis and Benny Blanco and shit. And it's like, he rose to fame quick, and I liked him too. My husband likes him. We like him. It's just, I feel guilty for listening to his stuff, and I always, had it in the back of my mind, like, is it okay to be listening to this or no? And so, it would weigh heavily on me because I was wondering if I was being too neutral. But I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I don't know who hurt her, So I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because, I'm not a detective. I don't know, what happened. I've tried to figure out cases and give it but I'm not that great at it. So it's like, this is just what I do. I try to talk to spirits, and some of these cases, like these missing cases, like Randy Leach or your case where something happened, and just trying to get to you to say who it is or whatever, to confirm who it is just a different type of way to talk to spirits. But in general, my channel is talking to spirits, trying to heal spirits and families, and proving that the afterlife is real and that you guys are still around. And so, I try, it takes forever to get a hold of spirits, hours upon hours upon hours of listening to the spirit box, and just trying every second, and taking breaks and trying again. It takes a long time and a lot of energy and a lot of effort to finally hear something. And I don't know if it's just your lucky break because you just happen to catch them when they're saying something, if it's intentional, like they're intentionally talking at that time, or they just happen to be talking and you call them that. I don't understand it. It just seems to take an awfully long time. seems like 2 to 3 weeks sometimes. Of just trying on and off throughout the day, you know, for up to 3 weeks. And it's just like, I think the furthest I've got with the spirit is just for them to say their name, say names of people they know, and that's about it. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm picking up more than that sometimes, but not very often. You know, but anyways, so I start vibing with him, connecting to him through his music, and I think I was becoming even more and more neutral because I was hoping he didn't have anything to do with it and that he cared about her and, you know, that. But then I hear that there was other girls his age, and I don't know if this is true or not, that he was seeing at the same time, so it just seems like he likes younger girls. But it's just like, why you want to hurt him too if you did? Like, why? Like, I don't understand why this world's gotta be so bad. We love you, Celeste. And we hope that you get the justice you deserve, girl, because, man, you got tricked like a motherfucker, you know? For sure. You know, by someone. So... And a part of me kind of feels sad he's in jail, and it's just like, I guess because we don't know for sure whether he did or not, but we don't know all the evidence they have, so if we did, it might change our view. I just know that over time, you know, I felt like she was being hostile towards me because I was being too neutral. And so that made me start to lean more towards maybe he knows something or did something or whatever, because it seems like she's not okay with him. And it seems like anybody that is, she don't want anything to do with, which is completely understandable. Because if someone wrongs you or does you some kind of injustice, the people that are there supporting you and helping you through it, you don't want them being neutral and being over there and thinking, oh, well, maybe they didn't, you know, they're like, you're either with me or you're not. Because you're not going to traumatize anymore by sticking up for this person anymore, you know, than they need to be or whatever. I don't know. But anyways, that's how I interpret it all. So, I make a comment on a song, Rush, a leaked song, Rush, and I just basically said, you know, I really like this song, I really like his music, I like him, I just hope he didn't have anything to do with it, you know, and he hearted my comment on February 13th, Friday the 13th, and I'm sure he hearted other people's comments, but I thought it was from his main account, because I was kind of all fan-struck and kind of, you know, like, because I know he's been staying offline, you know, not trying to draw attention to himself, and it was like some activity, and he actually hearted something of mine, and I feel somewhat connected to it because I've been trying to talk to her while also resonating with his music, and it's just like a crazy combination of shit. And so I don't know, I just kind of got fan-struck a little bit, and like I realized it wasn't from the main account, and I'm like, but it doesn't mean it wasn't him, because it seems like something he would do. And it said Tommy Archives or whatever his alter ego name is. And so I'm like, well, it could be him with a different account, you know, so that way people don't know it's him and they think it's somebody else. I don't know. Because he does it through his main account, everybody's gonna know for sure it's him, so. And I remember, you know, wanting to make a video and tag his main account in it. And say something to him and come at him in a neutral way. And I turned the spirit box on because, like I said, like the whole entire time, I was scared I was crossing the line with her. And if I went too far, she wasn't going to want anything to do with me or to talk to me. And I felt like it got to that or was close to that. And so I hear fuckface, retard, like all this stuff. And you know, and I was asking, should I not do this? Should I do it? You know, because I was trying to do a video for him and tag him in it. And it just seemed like I just got scared, you know, because I was hearing all the name calling. And it just seemed like I was hearing noises. It just seemed like there was a lot going on. And so I'm like, fine, fuck it, I won't do it. You know, I don't know. I feel like it's against her wishes and I don't want to do it. Whether I'm freaking my own self out or whatever, I'm just not going to do it. So, and I think I remember saying something to my dad about it at that time. Just feeling like, I feel like she doesn't want me to do it. And I was debating on putting the video up because it was showing footage of me freaking out and everything. And my dad's like, just go with what your gut says. So that's what I did, and I didn't put it up. I want to respect her, and if she don't feel respected, she's not going to talk to me. So it's like... So anyways, so I didn't do the video, and then a couple weeks later, that account was set to private, and then it got me thinking, well, I do believe it was him, because it seems like something he would do, get on there on Friday the 13th and heart shit, and it seems like he would set his shit to probably private, you know, as a way to come back to it, because he knew he was going away for a while. Guilty conscience or something. And then, sure as shit, probably like, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks later, he's arrested, you know. And it seemed like I caught him off guard from what I've seen. Like, they just showed up out of nowhere, yelling and hollering, and he's probably like, what the fuck? And it's like a part of me feels sad that he went to jail, and it's like the part of me that connected with him, the part of him that wasn't the evil side, you know, I guess you could say, if he is responsible for all this. I think I'm just too neutral for her, but I just don't want to accuse anybody of stuff and then look like a jackass when I'm proven wrong. It's just like, if I don't know for sure, I don't like to, like, go crazy like I do know. Thank you. But, I wanted to, yeah, I wanted to say something about all this because it's heavy on my mind, but Randy Leach is heavier on my mind, and I want to get to him. I've been trying to get a hold of him for a couple of weeks, and I'm trying to get him to say more than he has. He's just been saying his name and a couple people's name that he knows, but, like, I'm not really getting any clarity about anything else, and I'm trying to get that, and, you know, I haven't really got clarity from the other ones either. It's like, if they're gonna say something, they'll volunteer it, you know, and it's not a lot, you know. So, I just want to make sure that I'm remembering everything about Celeste. But after the whole video thing and wanting to make him a video and feeling like I upset her, I just kind of backed off her after that. I just stopped asking her to come, stop asking her questions, because I felt like I knew the answer. By the way she was acting, and possibly he was acting, it just seemed like she wasn't okay with him, and he seemed like he was doing guilty things, like, you know, transferring all his stuff into his parents' name, you know, maybe setting certain accounts to private, you know, before he goes in, you know, like saying one last final goodbye to his fans. I think that's what it was, in my opinion. It's just looking at comments and saying, you know, hearting them and, like, kind of saying goodbye. He confuses me. Because if he's responsible for this, it's like, what was he, like, a musician, serial killer? Like, what in the hell? Because it makes you think that he'd probably do stuff like that again. You know, because I was wondering if she was someone special to him. Well, apparently not if you're going to do some shit like that. You know? It's like, how could you ever? She's so beautiful and so young. Like, what the fuck? But anyways, I don't lose my train of thought. Like, they say that people that do things like that, like hurt other people that badly, you know, have something wrong with them, and it's either by birth or they're driven to that from an extremely hard life. Like, they just don't give a shit anymore, and they're tired of everyone's shit or something. I don't know. You're either born that way, or you just go through so much difficulties that life turns you bitter and you just go nuts. I don't know. But, it seems like you might have been born that way, because I don't think you experienced much of hardship. You know, it don't make sense to me at all. We just don't know the information. That's why. Like, there's so many pieces of the puzzle gone, it's just like, it seems weird. She was saying he was part of it. From what I heard her say it twice, or possibly her saying it twice. Like, I heard it twice in different sessions, so... And sometimes when I asked her who did this, she would say his name. So it's like, and I would try to get her to confirm it again, and she wouldn't. I felt like she felt she was telling me enough, and it wasn't enough for me. And I feel like at times we would get frustrated with each other because she'd say David so much. I'm like, what about David? Like, I start to get cranky and stuff. What about him? But... And, like, I felt like she felt like I was complaining about her, because I felt like... Because, like I said, she was kind of scary at times. But I think all ghosts are, probably. Like, when she would show up, it would be scary the way she would do it sometimes. Like, hearing a voice over in the corner, and it sounded like a girl, and it just being a couple words, and I'm like, I'm not talking to any girls but her, so maybe that's her, you know? And I hear crying or whining outside. I hear crying in the car. I hear, you know, so it's scary, you know? I was saying I wasn't prepared to deal with traumatized souls, and I think that some of these people are. Because I know she said her mom, like a former mom, like 3 to 4 different times. And one of the times I asked her, is there something you want to say to her? And I heard David. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's like the odds are stacked against you, that's for sure. And then I posted a badge that I had where I had listened to his music so much. I wonder if he got notified of that and came to my page and seen that. I've been trying to talk to her spirit, and all she does is say his name. It's like, he's probably like another hater. I'm not trying to hate, I'm trying to figure out what the hell happened to Celeste. And you should care about that too, because she apparently was someone you cared about at one point in time. Or whether she was your friend or whatever she was. The speculation is she was your girlfriend, and you had other girlfriends about that age. I don't know why guys like girls that age. Like, I don't know if that's when they look the best or what the fuck. It's weird. Like, I don't understand it. Like, but I don't want to accuse you of that, because I don't know. Celeste knows she's welcome to talk to me anytime she wants. When she's ready. When there isn't a bunch of hostility or frustration or whatever, like, I don't care. I think I need to hear more of what's going on to keep getting it through my thick-ass head. I probably shouldn't be as supportive and neutral as I am even still now. Because like I said, a part of me feels sad he got arrested. that part of me that connected to him through his music, you know, because I did. I connected to him through his music, and I resonated with him through his music, and you know, it was just, he didn't seem like he would do stuff like that because he seemed like such a caring person, deep person. But I guess we were wrong about that. I was just hoping he wasn't as bad as he was appearing to be, you know. And I don't know, it's still ain't over yet, and maybe the more information we'll hear, the more it'll make sense. So I think I covered everything on that. You know, I just wanted to talk about my experience through it and how it seemed to kind of confirm that I could have been talking to her spirit, because like he ends up getting arrested, and it feels like from the get-go she's been saying it's him, and or what, that's what I've been capturing. Like every time I try to talk to her, I hear David like crazy. I hear her name like crazy. You know, I'd hear her last name a bunch, Rivas, you know. But it was mainly her saying his and her name a lot. With nothing else, and I'm just like, well, say something else confirming, say blah, blah, blah. And then there'd be times I'd be frustrated because I'm like, well, what about David? Because it was just like, it's just probably like, you dumbass, he did it, dumbass, you know? It's like, well, you got to flat out say it. What about him, you know? Because I ain't going around accusing anybody of anything. I guess that's another reason why I didn't want, like, I don't want, it's like, I don't know if I should get involved in stuff like this, because, like, if they're naming off names, like, you don't want to look like, you know, like you're talking shit or something about people. That's why I say it's a disclaimer, you know, it's a possibility, it's a spirit, and when it's saying a bunch of confirming stuff, like it could be them, you're just like, oh, I wonder if this works, so I wonder if I can test it out other ways too, besides having spirits come to me, because it seems to take a lot of time to do that. I wonder if it's less time to be like at their grave doing it or something, where it don't take weeks. It still might take hours, but it won't take weeks. But anyways, I love you so much, Celeste, and I hope you hear that. I know I'm just talking about you, and like, I do hope you hear that, because like, I am on your side, and I do want justice for you, and I'm not trying to be too neutral with him. It's hard not to like him in your own ways, you know, like, but it's also hard to like somebody that would do something like that. So, because all in all, what happened to you is the most important thing, girl. And, you know, like, things shouldn't have went down like that. And, you know, I am your friend, and I'm sorry if I offended you. You know, I just don't know everything. Like, I don't know what happened. I'm just trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, you know, and you weren't really being extremely clear, well, to me anyways. And I'm sorry if it was frustrating communicating with me, especially if I wasn't getting things through my head at times, you know. But, I think that's all I want to say about that, so I think I'm going to get off here and put this up there and try to do, another video, okay? Bye.